Hello, welcome back. We are doing another product roast. If you haven't seen my last product roast video, we looked at Urban Decay's, no we didn't, Real Techniques sponge thing, which looks terrible. I still believe it's shit. Today, we are looking at Rhode Beauty, in particular the Pocket Blush. Listen, now in my previous roast, I didn't try the product, one because it isn't available in the UK yet, and two because it's a sponge with a bit of plastic on it. It's not the first time I've experienced a sponge with a bit of plastic on. However, I did order one of the Pocket blushes right here, so we are going to try it today. But I just want to talk about it first, initial impressions, and why I'm choosing to go down the roast aisle rather than just the plain review, okay? So when I first saw this, I was like, what the actual F is going on here with this blush, okay? My first initial thoughts are Pocket blush. Suggests what? It goes in your pocket, which by all means it absolutely could. However, the size itself of this actual blush, I mean, let's just look at this image. This image of Hailey Bieber holding it against her face. It looks quite large. It looks bigger. I do have to say, it looks bigger in the pictures than it does in real life. It doesn't look pocket friendly to me. That's just my opinion. In fact, the packaging looks so large that it kind of made the actual color, the actual product itself, look very like minuscule, let's say. It looks like there isn't much in there. It's this tiny sliver of blush going down the center of a packaging, which is fine if you're gonna buy that much. If you want to buy a small blush, fine, but the excessive packaging of this just makes me think, now why do you need that much packaging? Okay, so let's see what they say. Their Pocket Blush, the Natural Flush. A little blush for a little flush. Our on-the-go cream blush wakes up cheeks and lips with a diffused blush that melts on smoothly and stays all day. It's a lightweight formula that hydrates the skin for baby soft cheeks and leaves a glowy finish without a greasy feel. It is 5.3 grams, and you have 6 different shades as well, which is kind of an alright shade range, I guess, if that's what you want to do. It says it's long wearing, hydrates the skin, and doesn't leave greasy or sticky feel. I said that already. Apply with your finger or a brush and tap onto the cheeks. Color is buildable, so tap on a little or a lot, however you like it. For the monochromatic look, apply to the cheeks, lips, avoid the eye area. Okay. I love it when they do like these 90% of people said this, 90% said that, because a lot of the time, some of these things are just general personal opinion, right? So take, for example, 100% of people said it gave cheeks a natural glow. Natural glow is a matter of opinion. 97% said it melts into the skin, blends seamlessly. 94% said it works well on cheeks and lips. Again, what does working well mean? That could be like the initial application. Actually, yeah, it goes onto the cheek, it goes onto the lip. 3 out of 4 said the blush feels hydrating. Okay, so let's just go back to the packaging for a minute. I have it right here. Now, can you see? Okay, so it's not as big as I thought it was going to be. In this picture, maybe it's just me, but it looks bigger and chunkier. Oh, I guess it doesn't. No, I guess it doesn't. Now, one thing that I just find quite stupid, okay, about this blush is the sizes, right? Look at this tiny little thing sticking out of this. Now look here, here it is. If this is a pocket blush, right, it's meant to be on the go. It's meant to be something you take, travel around with you. Why not just make the packaging that big, this skinny? What's this? What is all this? Why do we have such a huge mechanism, right? Even when it comes to precision, it's actually as thick as my foundation bottle. Now imagine applying your blush with a foundation bottle. It just doesn't make sense for it to be that thick. When we have something, right, let's take a lip gloss, for example, where we want a little bit of precision, a little bit of definition. It's very skinny, it's very small, and our fingers are very close together. Makeup brushes, you know, the closer together our fingers are, the more precise we can be with a product. If I was to take something really thick, like my Stanley cup, and I like apply blush with this, it's a little, you know, the thickness of it is too thick. So I don't know why we've gone for this quite bulbous applicator. You know what I mean? Like it's very chunky. It's also extremely lightweight, so it doesn't say that. So to me, it's like there's not a need for it to be this crazy. So the thing that comes into my mind is you try to make something so portable, but yet you've given it like the wildest packaging ever. In terms of fitting in a pocket, I can't imagine, like you're gonna call it a pocket blush, right? Would this fit comfortably and nicely in a pocket without making it look like you're smuggling something? No, it wouldn't. Let's just say that. And then it's just for sheer like winding up this thing to get this tiny bit of, it just looks like, I'm sorry, it just looks terrible. Now, when I originally saw this, I thought this was a refill. I thought you could take this out, which I don't think you can. No, you can't. I nearly just broke it. And then I thought, you know, then you can slot it in. I was like, okay, maybe that makes sense for it to be refillable. Perhaps they had to do some extra work with the packaging itself, but it's absolutely really not. Okay, should we just get on and try this product itself? There's no smell. This is a shade Freckle, I believe. Freckle. I'm just gonna touch it to my skin. I'm gonna try finger on one side. It is, oh, it's kind of really like shiny, creamy. Now, although there seems to be quite little product in the actual container component itself, the brick, I actually don't think you're gonna get through all of that very quickly, because that's quite, yeah, that is quite pigmented. It has taken away a little bit of foundation underneath. Maybe I'll use a brush this side so we can see the difference of just like tapping it over. That's a really actual nice color. You know what? I would actually use that again. That is actually that's quite stunning actually. That's quite beautiful. The claims that it's long wearing, my only issue here is, except from the whole packaging, is how kind of greasy this is. It does feel a little bit, it's quite oily in terms of feeling. And one of their claims was that it's long lasting. Now, I don't fancy doing a wear test with this today because I know that this is gonna come off my skin almost immediately with how actually greasy and oily that is. Now, unless it stains your skin, there's no way I see this lasting on your skin. Now, although this is quite small and it is quite compact, again, the Pocket Blush name, oh my God, my lashes, just in my mind, just really doesn't suit this thing, especially in comparison to other smaller cream blushes. I just wanted to make comparisons to some blushes in a similar kind of packaging that I've actually used before. So we have the Pocket Blush up in the right-hand corner, £24. Pounds is very close to dollars now. And you get 5.3 grams, okay? So for £14, you can get the Made by Michelle blush, 7.7 grams, and this is actually a really nice blush. It feels a lot less oilier, so in my mind a bit longer lasting than what the Rhode blush is going to be. On the bottom left you can get the Glow Hub Buff Blush Stick, 5 grams, so it's 0.3 grams or less, but for £12 the formula is definitely not matte, but it feels matter than the Pocket Blush. So again, in my mind, longer lasting. Or you can go for something like Milk for £22, a very similar price, but you can get 6 grams also. So that's just a few different comparisons there, a few things to think about. I just don't know who would have looked at this design and thought, you know what, that's good. You know what, that's fine. We should probably do that. That looks great. It doesn't look pathetic coming out of this at all. And you know what, the packaging wouldn't matter if the actual product itself was going to be super long lasting in comparison. Again, I can tell you, for those people who are going to be like, oh, but you didn't try it. I've been trying makeup for many years. Nothing is that different. This isn't gonna last on my skin, I can tell you right now. So it isn't like that makes up for the fact that the packaging is a little bit strange. Does it affect the usage? Not really. Other than you just draw it on the face. I just don't like Part of me wonders if they were trying to almost rage bait with the packaging and be like, you know what, let's make people a little bit annoyed at this so we can get a little bit more attention, because everyone's releasing cream blushes at this point. Everyone has the same products coming out. So what can they do to stand out versus other cream blushes? Make it chunky as fuck. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice blush. It sits well, it blends quite well. It does take off a little bit of your foundation, absolutely. Not the, you can just, like, there's a patch there, you can actually see a fingerprint there. Not the best product ever and is quite oily. Would I recommend this? No. Should they rethink it? Yes. For a company that created a phone case that went crazy viral, you would think they could come up with something a little bit better than this. Now, I wouldn't suggest going and making a phone case for this, because then that would be like using a brick and trying to put that in your pocket. Okay, I would love to know your opinions down below. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.